What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Thai Live channel. My name is Min, and today we will be showing you how to do acrylic extension on toenails. A lot of people always ask me if it's going to damage the toenail if we add acrylic on it, or is it even necessary to even add extension on toenails. I'm gonna have that answer throughout this video, but the main thing about this video is really making sure that you are comfortable at the time you finish watching these videos, that you are able to do nail extension on toenails in a necessary manners. As you all know, clients going to be coming in with all types of toes. They're going to have uneven toenails. They might hit it in the wall, in the corner, on the bed, and that is the reason why they want their toenail to be extended. Sometimes people have damaged toe where it grows very unevenly, and they want to make sure that all their nails, when they polish on, looks even. Those are the rhymes and reason why they usually add extension on it. Now, is it going to be healthy for you? That is going to be depends on how well the customer takes care of their body parts, like their toenails. You as a nail tech might add the acrylic and extension on, but it is their job every single day as they are wearing that acrylic is to make sure they are taking care of their toes. Because a lot of times, if the acrylic is lifting in the toenails, and you are not taking care of that area, it can create moist and fungus and all that greening, and we do not want to get to those levels, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to file her nails, rough up her nails like how I'm going to prep for the regular nail extension. And after that, I'm going to go in with the tips. Some people can actually use a form for this, but it depends. Some toes are so big, you can't even fit a form on there. However, on the right toe, I actually apply a tip that's made for the toe because that toe was really big. And don't be surprised if the clients have two toes that are different size. That is normal in this industry, y'all. That's how God give them toes. You just gonna take what you have and run with it, okay? On the left toe, I actually have a smaller tip for that left toe because that left toe is smaller, okay? So after I rough up the nails, I apply the tips. I'm gonna go ahead and cut down the length. You can use a tip clipper, but sometimes the toenails, the skin where it sticks out on the bottom of the toe is too wide. The clippers, when you come in, you clip it, it still looks long. That's why I went in with the scissor and I kind of cut down the length. After you cut down the length, it's pretty much, you kind of shape it up, round it up a little bit, and you're just going to go in with the preparation of how you do any type of extension. So I'm going to go ahead and smooth out the surface of the tips and the natural nail just to give that nice smooth touch. And everything I'm showing you right now is actually in real-time motion, so you see exactly the whole process, how long it takes me. So after I rough up the tips and the natural nails, I am going to go in with 2 coats of the protein bond, which is a primer. So as you can see, is all the same step as how you do an extension. The only difference is that, yeah, you have to drag the monomers, you have to drag all of your nail stuff to the spa chair area, and a lot of nail techs, they don't like that. They want to work in the station. They don't like to move anything. And when you guys are applying acrylic on the toes, a lot of times you're going to pick up a bigger bead because the toe is really wide. You want to make sure you fill it in, okay? You don't have to make it too thick, but my suggestion is that you got to make them kind of flat. Don't make them bulky. Don't create no apex on the toe. That's not a fingernail. The most of the times they only want extension on their toes is because they have uneven toenail. A lot of times the toenails are thick already itself. You don't need to add a lot of acrylic to make them thicker. Yes, you will get clients who wants acrylic on every single of their toenails. I don't get that very frequently. I don't see why they should do that on all the toes unless they have some really damaged toenails on all 10 of them. But majority of the time, this procedure and service is going to be asked to do on the big toes, y'all. A lot of times, clients really keep the other 8 toes really nice and good. But the big toes usually get damaged because it's big, it sticks out, and it tends to hit stuff. So the thing about applying on just 2 of the big toe is that you know it's going to take some time for the acrylic to dry. So during this moment right here, just take your time, y'all. Don't rush. This part is actually easy. When I was growing up in the nail industry, every time I get a newbie that's coming in, they're new at applying acrylic, guess what the salon's gonna do? They're gonna make you do these kind of procedure because they figure it's a good way for you to get practice because you're applying acrylic, you're learning the technique. But since it's on the toe, the client's not gonna notice your flaws. You know, the client's not gonna notice that it was thick, you didn't shave the cuticles too well. They're not gonna notice that. But that's why all the new techs end up doing this kind of procedure. It's just how to get your feet wet when you're starting out. So after the acrylic is dry and all that, I'll shape it up. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my electric file, and I'm going to smooth out the surface. This part right here is very important when it comes to acrylic application on the toes because you want to make sure you're flushing down the cuticle really well. The goal when it comes to doing acrylic extension on the toe is you got to make sure it's nice and smooth and there's no lift. Because the client is going to be wearing shoes, the client's going to be wearing a lot of stuff and doing a lot of stuff with their feet, and sometimes adding a lot of pressure on those toes with the acrylic on can pops off the tips, okay? However, here's a couple more suggestions I want to share with you, is that when you guys are doing acrylic on the toe and the client is coming back, make sure you clean under the toe. Make sure you stay monetized under the toes, guys. I see a lot of people putting acrylic on the toes and they thinking the moment they fill in the acrylic, they just looks good with the color over it. But I see a lot of people forget the steps of just cleaning under the toes, and next thing you know, months goes down, years goes on, and then you got all this gunk under the client's toes, and that happens, y'all. I recently, a couple months ago, had a client who had acrylic on the big toe. She came in, I took off the gel polish, and I was noticing why was it so moist, and I pressed down her toes and it was juice coming out, and I took off the polish and I looked under her toes, and oh my god, there was so many gunk, all kind of stuff, looks like seaweed. I mean, I can describe, it was just black. So what I ended up doing is I had to end up removing the whole acrylic, okay, the whole acrylic. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean under her toes. So I spend at least 40 minutes just like using my nipper, cutting off all the gunk that has been growing under the toe. And you know, sometimes all the stuff that's thrown under the toe for so long, it builds up and becomes very hard. Like it's almost like it's attached to the nails. And that's what I was facing. But I end up using my drill bit. I use all kind of skills and technique. I clean under her toes. And after that, I added an acrylic extension on it. It looks good. She actually came back a month later. I looked under her toe. It was still clean. And guess what? The new nail is growing out. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is that you got to make sure as a nail tech, you stay precaution. Like you want to make sure that you always remember what you did to the clients last and continue to monetize their condition. Not every client you going to do this to, but if you ever face a client with that kind of condition on their toes where it's very brutally nasty, dirty, and you're cleaning it up and you want to make sure it's not growing back, that's what you have to do as a nail tech. And if you agree with me as a nail tech doing that, give it a thumbs up, share this video, and make sure if you haven't subscribed yet, just go ahead and click that bell button so you can get all this notification every time I release all my tutorial videos and of course about my life and all that. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is it is important that as a nail technician, we take the time to really do this correctly and give that clients, you know, that really the caring that they deserve, because it's so hard to find that good nail tech. But if you're able to build that trust, you're able to show them that you care about them, they always going to come back. And those kind of pedicure, you probably wondering like, man, I'm not spending all that time making only like 30 or 40 bucks. No, these kind of pedicure that you're adding so much time, extension on it, this pedicure itself right here can go up to $75, okay? Because of all the work that you put in. So long story short, so that toe is being taken care of. After I put the acrylic onto the client's nails right now, you know what it is. You go in with the base coat and you're going to go in with the polish. When you guys are polishing on the toenails, it is important that you don't pick up a lot of paint. You got to understand polishing is all about having a good eye to really how much paint you're picking up for the surface that you're painting. If you're painting a small little toe, you don't need that much polish on your brush. if you're painting the big toe, you might need a little bit more. So it's really simple. Again, back in the days when we were going into the industry, and if somebody knows that you're new to the industry, they will give you a lot of pedicures and you will be polishing on toes more than fingers, because they want to make sure that you're getting comfortable. They want to make sure that your polishing skill is great before they start letting you polish onto the fingernails. That's how it works. You know, like when you get into the salon industry, the owner, the managers, they're gonna understand the right steps to give you the right service, to give you, to make you very comfortable, instead of just like, hey, is this your first day? I'm gonna go ahead and give you the pickiest clients. None of us wants that. And that's why as a nail tech starting out, you kind of have to suck it up to willing to do any type of service that the owner willing to give you. If you agree with me on that one too, give it a thumbs up and leave it in the comment that you ever experienced when you starting out. How was it like? What kind of service did you do, and how did the boss treated you? I know some of the nail tech out there doesn't have the good experience with bosses and all that, but some do. But share with me your experience. I would love to hear all your experience in the nail industry when you guys are starting out. But at the same time, let me know what is your thought on nail extension on the toenails, and do you agree that we have to really tell the clients how to take care of these toes? And do you agree that as nail tech we continue to monetize how their toe condition as they are coming back? Because these kind of toes, I seen it gets damaged faster than fingernails, y'all. Fingernails, a lot of time it breaks is because people slam the door onto a window drawer and all that, and then they get moist under there. But the toenails, man, you can just hit into a wall, hit into a bed, the corner of the bed, and next thing you know, it is busted, and it can be brutal, you know. But anyways, as I am polishing her nails, I'm excited to see the result, because in the beginning, this client right here, she actually have two uneven big toe, and so far I really like the way it looks right now. So I'm just polishing. As I am polishing the first coat, you all know the first coat of the polish is the most important coat. I don't care what people say about the second coat, but I feel like the first coat is where you have to lace it perfectly. And once you lace the polish perfectly around the cuticle, you can lace in the second coat a lot easier. So as we are about to finish up, you know she's getting excited, I'm getting excited, and I'm apologize that I didn't speed up this moment. I just want to show you guys in real time how I'm actually performing this on the clients, you know. It just takes time. This whole process, 20 minutes long, you know, but that's not bad. You put 2 tips on, and when you guys are adding tips onto the nails, make sure you guys are charging the client for this, okay? It's not a free service, and so the question is, how much do we charge for them? Well, it depends. Some nail tech will charge you $5 for 1 toe. So that's $10 for 2 toes. Some nail techs would charge the clients $10 per toe. So it just depends on your area, how much you feel like you are worth. But don't be afraid to charge the clients your skill set, okay? Just know that that is one of the hardest part about being a nail technician. Being a nail technician, the hardest part is really setting a strong price to make you an income and also satisfy the clients. But at the same time, if you give your time and effort to everything that you do for your clients, high chance your client's gonna appreciate you and they won't complain about the price. Just don't increase the price every single time they show up. I hear stories constantly from other clients telling me that every time I go in, I don't know why, my nail tech always be charging me more than the last time. You don't want to do that. You got to keep it in the range. You know you're going to always charge them $75 to $85. Keep it like that, unless you know that one day they happen to change it up on you a little bit more work, then you let them know in front. But don't be afraid to charge more, but don't sell yourself short, okay? I see a lot of people still charging a pedicure $25, $30, a full set starting out at $40. I mean, look, if that works for you, it's great. But now with inflation, everything's getting more expensive. Even the product that you use is actually more expensive than it was years ago. So you kind of have to up your game to kind of support your living. There's no point of being a nail tech, a nail artist, but you're just always afraid to lose a client because you're not willing to charge them high. But you're just really making yourself work harder, not smarter. Love your work, love the craft that you've been practicing, and always tell yourself, not everyone can do what you do, okay? That's how you become a great nail technician. You can't become a great nail technician just because you know how to do acrylic application, you know how to do polish. Be yourself, be who you are, and really show the clients that you care. This service industry is not that difficult. The formula is really simple. You touching someone's hand, you're giving them the beauty of their hand, you make them relax, they're not stressed out when they're in front of you. What's so hard about that? But the hardest part is that it's gonna take you day in and day out to really keep going. Okay? It's not gonna take you 1 month, 2 months, and all of a sudden you're a superstar. I wish that could happen to you. I wish all of us can make that happen to you. But the true story is that it's going to take some hard work. It's going to take some day in and day out. Just enjoy the craft. Know your worth, okay? You and I can be both doing the same service. But if I view that service just more valuable than you, I can charge that client more. So view the service valuable. Nail is a luxurious thing. It's not a necessity. It's not something that the client has to have in life. This is something for them that they have spare money. They have money. They kind of have to have a budget on their side for their nail. I mean, this is a luxury, y'all. And if they come to you to get this luxurious service, you have to understand that they want this. So you have to charge them what they want. You know what I mean? And especially, I'm not trying to tell y'all to charge like $100 for every service. You can if your client's willing to pay for that, but let your service speak louder than what you charge them. Like if I charge my client $50 for a pedicure, I want to make sure that the way they feel is more than $50. If that makes sense to what I just say. And if you agree with what you've been hearing about, all of this in this video, all the how to make money, how to keep the client, how to work hard, how to do acrylic extension, subscribe to this channel, y'all. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up, share this video. Do you know anyone out there who's starting out as a nail technician? Do you know anybody out there who's wanting to grow as a nail technician when they already have their license? Send them to my channel. I will share them all my experience just to help them out. Because at the end of the day, I want all of us to grow. Because there's no point in me seeing my system, the way that I've been doing, really works. Always 2 weeks booked in advance. I want that to happen to you. Because it's possible. I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not really like, a hardworking. I mean, I feel like I work hard, but compared to a lot of people, I'm not really that hard of a worker. But I'm able to make it because I have a system of how to treat my clients right, a system how for them to recognize me and how to find me, how to book with me. So it takes all of that, my friend. It takes all of that to really bring your career together. And here we are finishing up on this nail extension on the toenail with the red polish on. As you can see from far, it looking good. I'm going to go in, add some cuticle oils on her. You know what? Believe it or not, cuticle oil is like the biggest thing, y'all. If you see any clients who has a major cuticle issue, recommend them some cuticle oil, okay? CND makes some really good cuticle oil. Highly recommend it. But we are about to finish up this videos, y'all. As y'all can see, her toes looking fresh. They're straight. When I polish them, I want to make sure it's covering every single edges of her nails. And let's really look close. After we finish, let this other foot cure. We're going to go in with the oil base. And you know what? It is simple, but make sure when the clients come back, you continue to monitor the toenails so that they don't go out of line. There's no type of bubble, no type of moist, because the goal is no moist. Remember that, guys. No moist is the goal, because the toenail is very fragile. It stays in the shoes, and We are about to finish. Look at that toes, y'all. That's how it looks like at the end. Look how clean it looks. Look at the big toe, and everything looks organized. There it is, y'all. Thank you so much. You know, I appreciate you guys for listening. I appreciate for watching. I appreciate the support, the subscribe, the like, the share, the comments. Leave it in the comment you enjoyed this video, and if you learned something, leave it in the comment. Other than that, what